Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 297
297
of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. There are discounts for the spring and summer at Walt Disney World, including free dining packages. And check with MEI Travel for the best prices on your vacation. There's so much going on. We're about to start the Epcot International Festival of the Arts, which then will lead into the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival, eventually the Food and Wine, and back to Christmas. But yesterday Epcot was still Christmas, so we haven't even finished Christmas here yet, but we're on our way.
Yeah, there's so much going on starting tomorrow. But anyway, we want to thank once again MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. Be sure to check them out for all your travel needs.
Right, and we are starting at the Yacht Club, Disney's Yacht Club Resort. I've been really wanting to go to the Ale and Compass for breakfast for like months and months. It's like, I want to go. And it was actually a pretty good breakfast. We're going to talk about that in a second, but Christmas was down here. I actually put that in my notes that it wasn't Christmas anymore at the Yacht Club. But here you can see the friendship boat. It was a beautiful day out.
And this is, we're recording this on the 17th of January. And you were just at Epcot yesterday for a preview for the Festival of the Arts, and still being Christmas. Now, there was no Christmas at all in this resort here. As you can see, the tree was down, the train was down. But right next door, the carousel with the horses and all the chocolate and all that was still up.
Right. Disney's Beach Club Gingerbread Carousel. There was a sign right by the Ale and Compass saying, go check it out. And it was the only piece of Christmas and the holidays left in the resorts that I could see.
And I just want to say, I apologize. My voice isn't at its best. I'm getting over a cold, but we're gonna get through this. So anyway, here we are. We finally went to the Ale and Compass because, as you mentioned, you've been wanting to go for a long time, and I've been hearing, I want to go. So we booked it, and here we are for the Ale and Compass breakfast.
So the Ale and Compass for breakfast has a buffet, and then you get to pick an entree. It's sort of like how Maria and Enzo's was for a while, but I think they're back to being just a buffet for their Sunday brunch. So I really liked the setup, and I like the buffet quite a lot. We're just kind of looking at the menu, and it's $23 per person. Includes an entree. You get to choose anything from the list, and then it includes a buffet.
Well, it says coffee, tea, juice, and soft drinks are included, which makes you think you can get all of that. Not the case. You have to pick one of those.
Right. At most buffets, or any other buffet I've pretty much been to at Walt Disney World, you could choose more than one different item. But if you want, let's say you want orange juice and coffee, you have to pay for one of them.
And I did that, and I paid for the coffee. It was worth it, but it was just, I thought it was kind of odd that it was not all included like most buffets.
Well, like at Boma, you had coffee, the juice, and whatever else you had. So you could have like 3 items.
But this was the star of the show here, is the buffet. The buffet was fantastic.
It's not a huge buffet. I think for the price, Boma is a better value. But I thought that the buffet was very high quality. You can see croissants and pastries and little muffins, and then there's oatmeal and cheeses and charcuterie and
smoked salmon, very good.
Right. So what was here, I thought was not a lot of different items, but I mean, how many different items do you need? And then they also had fresh fruit. I thought it was a very nice buffet.
I think you and I both agree that if there was an option to just get the buffet, that would have been just fine for us.
Yes, because I think the buffet is better than the entrees. Really, by far, I thought the buffet was much better. Also, there's something called a Parker House roll, which I have heard about so much, and I had not tried yet. It's something I think they have for dinner also at the Ale and Compass.
And this is what my selection was there. And you could see I took some fruit, some cheese, a croissant. It's a very French breakfast. Reminds me of our time at Disneyland Paris there, and some smoked salmon, which was really, really good.
Well, the Hotel Elysee at the Disneyland Paris area has a fantastic breakfast. And
it offers just
bigger.
About everything you see there, yeah.
Right, but more. They have like 5 types of breads and really so much. And there you had, orange juice, and then you paid for a side of coffee.
That's right. I like the container for the milk, a little tiny milk jar. I thought that was kind of cute.
And I assume it's one orange juice. I don't know that they would refill the orange juice. Like they will refill the the iced tea.
And the coffee. Yeah,
And
they
the
probably
coffee.
would have done the orange juice too.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But this is my breakfast, and it was just an American breakfast. Again, it was average. I thought that the buffet was a higher quality offering.
Right, and this was my Eggs Benedict. And again, it was average. I actually prefer the Eggs Benedict that we had recently at Trail's End. I thought it was a little better. This is pork, the barbecued pork meat underneath. And again, I didn't love it.
And we're going to talk about Boma soon. Boma is my favorite probably on property as far as breakfast that I have had, and Trail's End as well. But it was decent. The Ale and Compass was decent.
Yeah.
I thought the buffet was the best part.
Well, after all that food, we decided we're going to take a walk over to Disney's Hollywood Studios, mainly because we wanted to get a little footage showing the new walkway that has recently reopened.
Right, and so you can walk between, as always, you can walk between Epcot and Disney's Hollywood Studios. And now when you walk past it, I hadn't walked past it in months and months.
Well, it's closed. It was closed for a short amount of time.
That's what I had thought. I hadn't tried to walk it during that time, but right now you can walk it. And you pass by, of course, the Skyliner construction and the bus stop construction and everything.
Well, you could see the disabled parking is now back open. There's walls that was closed for the longest time, so that is very good to see that open. And you could see this big open area where you're now walking towards the walking path, and there is the Skyliner on the left coming along pretty good.
And what I really like to see here is that the Skyliner station and the new restrooms, they're in the same style of the old style Disney's, MGM Studios and Hollywood Studios, same look. So that makes me happy. Just it means that outside area especially should be very similar going forward.
And we'll be back at the Disney's Hollywood Studios
tomorrow.
And I hear the 30th anniversary decorations have already started to arrive. So we'll have some coverage of that for next week.
There's going to be so much for tomorrow, with the Festival of the Arts, and then every park has something new tomorrow. So we'll see what next week holds. I think we're going to have a couple weeks worth of coverage just from tomorrow. This is the Skyliner, and you can see which way it goes. So it's really interesting to see. Again, it had been a number of months since I had done this walk.
Yeah, this was totally new for me. You could see there is the directory. That's where all the buses are going to be, and they're not all fully done. They're still working on a couple of them. But the walkway here is over to the left, and you could see the new restroom. Very exciting, the new restroom off in the distance.
I will say, I thought the restrooms would be bigger. The outside looks really big. So if you're looking, they were, it wasn't even that busy inside, but there's not that many stalls. So you can always just go also inside the park. Once all these bus stops open and the Skyliner station opens, I think those bathrooms are going to be crowded.
Well, I guess we'll see how it goes. I don't really remember it all that well. Not very memorable in the men's room.
I tend to remember these things. Anyway, if you've never walked between Disney's Hollywood Studios and Epcot, it is one of my favorite walks on property. This is a great time to do it. Summer's a little warm for it because it's maybe a 20 to 25 minute walk most of the time for me. But right now we've been having like 60s and 70s as a high, so it's really been perfect weather for that.
And you can see one of the bus stations is going to be very close, very, very close to the walking path. And like you said, it's a really nice walk, good exercise, freshly repaved cement here, at least at the beginning of the walk. And sometimes it's much faster doing this than taking the boat.
Often it is just because there are several stops that the boats will make. But again, check it out. One of my favorite things to do is stop and check out shops and restaurants on the boardwalk on the way. And I've done the walk, I guess, a few times in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and you can see beautiful views, and also sometimes very nice wildlife will appear while you're there. Anyway, we're going to jump ahead to my birthday, and that was about a week ago, January 8th. We were at the Jumbo House for my traditional Boma birthday breakfast, And for the first time that I can remember, it was still Christmas time at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge.
I thought that was really nice because we hadn't been able to make it over this season yet to see the Christmas decoration. So I was really actually happy to see that the tree was still up.
Yeah, me too. It was beautiful. So I hadn't seen it, I don't think, all last year either. So it was nice to see it again. Very beautiful. A lot of Christmas lingered on this year at Walt Disney World. And here it is. It's Boma Breakfast time.
And I know we probably talk about this every year. It's still really one of my favorite, well, maybe my favorite. I said it was my favorite, probably is my favorite breakfast at all of Walt Disney World.
And there is decorations.
Yes, a modest amount, but still really nice to have the wreaths and garland and such in there. The breakfast here, I think it's about $6 more than the Ale and Compass.
Uh-huh.
For a larger amount of items, you have meats, carved meats, and you can have 2 or 3 drinks if you want at the same time, 2 different drinks.
Not to mention omelets.
An omelet station. So there is a lot here at Boma. The only thing that I was disappointed in is almost always they have turkey, but every so often they don't, and that's my favorite item here, and they didn't have it. But they have asparagus, and you can see all the tomatoes, and there's some African specialties, but then they also have standard items as well.
Yeah, they have everything. There's something for everybody
Except
there.
turkey.
Except turkey. I have to
This
admit,
time.
turkey is my favorite thing. The ham was very good. The smoked ham was also very good, but I admit the turkey there is phenomenal. So it's only been maybe 2 times ever where this has happened. So
Right, because, I mean, you could have turkey there or not, but usually it is. So,
But they had Mickey waffles.
Yes, and I think it's Simba also
Simba,
waffles.
yes, indeed. Simba waffles, too.
So you have waffles and pancakes, and we're looking at, there's a couple different types of eggs and biscuits and gravy and bacon. And again, you have just your standard breakfast items, but they also have other items that are more African.
So here we go. It is the beverage selection here. Jungle juice, orange juice, and coffee for me.
And the jungle juice is something that is in a lot of the restaurants now, I think, for buffets, though not called jungle juice. But this is your first plate.
Yes, and you have some smoked salmon there, some ham. I know you don't really go for the ham, but
Or the
their
salmon.
hot mustard is very good. And I forget the name of this, but it's something I have. It's an African dish. I have it all the time.
I think it's like babodi.
Yes, that's
Yes.
it. And of course, asparagus.
And the only thing on that plate I would eat is asparagus.
But this is not the same for you. I know you're going to eat some of these nice waffles. There's a Simba waffle and a Mickey waffle. And I, of course, did have syrup, but I waited until after the video to pour the syrup on it.
I don't have a lot of Mickey waffles during the year, so it's, when I come here, I always make sure that way I can get my pictures also. But this is, again, just so many different choices.
And they have an omelet selection there. So I just got the everything omelet with cheddar cheese, and it was very, very good and pretty quick too.
Yes.
Very quick service. Everything was excellent. I was very pleased again, as always, with the Boma Breakfast.
And that's why you go there for your birthday every year.
That's true. But I have to wash it down with a healthy choice here. So I had some fruit and a pecan sticky bun, but not too much of this because they brought me an actual birthday cupcake there.
And this is the same type of item they gave you in the last year or two, like with the Mickey Mouse ears. It used to be every year was a little bit different, and there's Jeff with his birthday cupcake.
It was good, really good. We actually shared that. Didn't even finish it. We were so full from the breakfast. And one last look where you could see a little bit of the Christmas left over. We took a walk after, and look what we found. Giraffes dining. Breakfast for the giraffes.
The giraffes were really active on this day, and it's very interesting also because a giraffe was just born at Disney's Animal Kingdom Park just a few days ago, and partly in front of other guests. There were guests on the safari, and they could see the baby being born, at least the start of the baby being born. And then...
and I think they closed it for the day at that point.
I believe they did.
This reminded me of that, so I threw that in there. I was hoping you were going to tell that story.
Yes, and at least for a few hours, I think it was shut down. So there's a new baby.
Awesome. But anyway, isn't this nice that you're able to just walk over there and do this? I mean, after breakfast at a hotel. How awesome is that?
My first time at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge was a couple days before it opened to the public. I was working at the Disney Reservation Center, so I I just remember being so in awe of everything that this resort had. And so it was just nice to be able to kind of preview it before it opened to the public.
Yeah, I love it. It never disappoints. Anyway, after breakfast, we took a bus over to the Magic Kingdom.
And Merry Christmas
Merry
at the
Christmas.
Magic Kingdom as well. And
And it was Christmas even much later than this. This was on the 8th, but I think on the 16th, it was 15th or 16th was the final day of Christmas.
right, just like a day or two ago, they finally took all of the Christmas decorations down. But we took a ride on the Liberty Belle, which had been out of service for a while, I guess, in refurbishment. And that's one of my favorite attractions, not just the Haunted Mansion, but the Liberty Belle, to be able to just kind of have a nice, quiet ride around the river.
Yeah, and it was nice to see everything was refreshed. And here's a view that we've not seen before, at least not for a long time, the Festival of Fantasy Parade from the Liberty Belle.
And that was kind of nice. And I know they've had this, the Tiana's dessert party.
Right.
I don't know if it's something that they're going to have again. And this would be your view of the parade.
Well, I think you would have a slightly better view. I think it parks somewhere where there's less trees, but there will always be some trees probably in the way.
And Maleficent has not yet returned to the parade, and I think she's been gone about, 7 or 8 months now?
It's been a while. We have seen her a couple times now at Disneyland Paris, so at least it's nice to see her still in action somewhere.
Yeah, with the fire and everything. So here we can see Big Thunder Mountain. I love the one at Disneyland Paris, but I love ours too.
I love them both, but speaking of the Disneyland Paris version, I've heard they've finally fixed the explosion effect where it works every time.
Oh, I don't think
Isn't
it's
that
really,
awesome?
I don't know, has it worked when we've even been on it?
Once.
Once.
Ever.
So we're now looking at the burning settler's cabin.
Do you remember the old, really burning settler's cabin with
I
the
do.
fire and the flames?
I do remember that, and it's been many, many years.
Yeah, I remember it used to be on Big Thunder, and you'd go around the corner, especially at night, and you'd see flames, and it was from this. So this is slightly subdued, but it's nice to see the smoke effect work again, because it hasn't been working for a very long time, a year or longer. So once again, it looks like it's in full force now.
I feel like it's been kind of on and off through the years. I remember a number of years ago it going back on and somebody mentioning that. So it's nice anytime you see effects working. It's really a nice, something like that. It's a nice plus.
And here we are back to where we started. It is the Haunted Mansion. We're coming in to finish our ride along or around the rivers of America.
And I'm looking forward to Phantom Manor in Disneyland Paris opening. It's been closed for quite some time. They are doing a major refurbishment, I think, on that. And then now they have a Phantom Mickey meeting outside of it, and I thought that was really cool.
That was really very cool. So I would love to see that, and we will definitely be making it over there to see Phantom Manor when it opens. And here is the old Mike Fink keelboat dock. Do you remember the Mike Fink keelboats?
You know what? I don't. And I was going to the Magic Kingdom while they were there for many, many years. And for some reason, I don't think I ever rode it, and I don't know why. Maybe I want to do something else with my ticket book.
It was sort of like a jungle cruise around the rivers of America, depending on who you got as the skipper, I guess you could call him. But I'll link to that. I have recorded it in the past, and it's on YouTube. And now we're going to look over to the Tron construction going on next to Space Mountain here. This little walkway along the back of Tomorrowland is closed, while the train and the Speedway are closed.
Well, it's in the back of kind of in Storybook Circus on the way to Tomorrowland. And we're looking at Tron to open probably in a couple of years or so in time for the Walt Disney World 50th. There's quite a bit that's going to be opening in that time period between now and then.
And once again, the Speedway is going to be slightly changed. I know there have been a number of changes to the original track layout, and it always seems to get just a little bit smaller.
But what I really am glad about is with Tron going in, there was talk originally that the Speedway might go away, and it's not. So I'm really glad we have Space Mountain, the Speedway, and Tron when Tron opens.
Yeah, that'll be nice. That's very Disneyland-like, where you have attractions right on top of each other. So I appreciate that as well. And you can see that the old walkway path there is closed off. For a while there, they were doing work on Space Mountain, and all the guests were coming along that way to exit the attraction, but now they've reopened the speed ramp. No longer a speed ramp, you just walk on your own pace. So we'll have to check that out at some point.
And here is Monsters, Inc. Laugh half floor, which it has a new sign, and you are going to show what the signs used to look like. In Tomorrowland many years ago, it sort of looks very similar.
And this is probably in the late 80s, early 90s. You see Mission to Mars and American Journeys and the Wedway People Mover. But the main thing is the shape of these signs here. And the new sign matches this perfectly. So a little ode to the past.
And I really enjoyed Mission to Mars. That I do remember, as opposed to the Mike Van Keel boats, which I don't remember at all.
What about Mission to the Moon?
No.
Remember that?
I don't remember.
Very similar.
Maybe I remember it and I think it's Mars. Who knows?
Well, anyway, that was our trip to the Magic Kingdom. And now we're going to talk about the Epcot International Festival of the Arts. You went to a preview at Epcot yesterday and you got to see the big cheese here. It's Mickey in his celebration outfit.
But Mickey will not be at the Epcot International Festival of the Arts. He will be at the Magic Kingdom with Minnie, meeting in Town Square Theater in these new costumes, and also in the street party that's going to be starting tomorrow, taking over from the last street party, because we've had several incarnations of that. So I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's going to be nuts, because we're going to be at Magic Kingdom, Disney's Hollywood Studios, Epcot, probably not Animal Kingdom, but there's something new starting in every single park.
Well, fortunately, you got to talk to the all-new Disney ambassador.
Right, one of the two new Walt Disney World ambassadors. This is Marilyn West, and she talked to me about what's coming up tomorrow.
Hi there, my name is Marilyn West, and I'm one of the Walt Disney World ambassadors. And today we're here to talk about all the amazing things that are going on across our Walt Disney World property. So let's start with Disney's Animal Kingdom. This year we're celebrating 25 years of The Lion King. So we have a brand new Hakuna Matata time dance party for all of our guests to let out their inner animal and dance the night away. We also have our fan favorite, which is Festival of the Lion King. Definitely a must-see for all of our guests visiting Disney's Animal Kingdom. And if you head over to Disney's Hollywood Studios, you'll get to party with some of our favorite Pixar pals, including Mr. and Mrs. Incredible, Frozone, and this year you'll get to meet Edna Mode, the super suit designer herself, and maybe see some of her amazing creations. Also, I did hear that a door may be opening to the Monster World. So if you head over to Walt Disney Presents, you might get to meet some of our favorite pals, Mike and Sully, from Disney Pixar's Monsters, Inc. I think we have one more park we want to talk about, which is Magic Kingdom. At Magic Kingdom, we have Mickey and Minnie's Surprise Celebration, which celebrates the icons themselves, and we have lots of brand new merchandise, entertainment, and food and beverage offerings. And you can meet Mickey and Minnie together at Town Square Theater. But we also have the Move It, Shake It, MousekeDance It street party, where you can dance the night away with all of our favorite pals, including the man himself, Mickey Mouse. Look how amazing he looks in his celebration outfit. So as you can see, this is the time to come to the Walt Disney World Resort and see everything we have to offer.
As we said before, it's going to be a big day tomorrow. Lots going on at all the parks. But I do look forward to meeting Mickey and Minnie in their celebration outfits here.
And seeing the street party
that's
going to be happening. I also conducted some interviews, and I'm going to share one of them. And this is with Merchandise Guest Experience Manager Will Dasso. And he was really great in talking about the merchandise, some of it that they'll be having for the festival.
Hello, welcome to 2019 Epcot International Festival of the Arts. My name is Will. I'm one of the festival guest experience managers for merchandise, and I'm going to be able to walk you through and show you all the new products for 2019 that we have to offer, and I'm sure we're going to find some favorites here. So first up, I want to show you the pins. We don't always get to have these early to show you all, so we're really excited to show those off. We've got several limited edition styles, and the one on the left, really special, that is for our pass holders. Make sure you pick that one up.
With Pogo.
Come early and get it, because anyone who's been to one of our festivals before, limited quantities, they might run out. Featured right here, really nice event tee featuring our favorite artist, Figment, working on a masterpiece of Spaceship Earth. And what better accessory to go with that than some nice headwear? We got two options. So this top one I want to bring to your viewers' attention. That is a new ear hat, obviously. It is debuting with International Festival of the Arts, but it's going to be available throughout. So this is going to be a new product release on Friday. Make sure to come by Imageworks or the festival markets throughout World Showcase or Mouse Gear to get that if you're interested. We also have the nice baseball cap that perfectly complements the teeth.
A lot of Figment this year, which is great.
Right? Festival of the Arts, it's his turn to shine. And speaking of, look what we got right here. Anyone who's familiar with the Disney Figments brush with the masters knows what this is. But if you are new to attending, we're going to have 12 masterpieces hidden throughout World Showcase that Figment has found his way into. So you'll begin with a map, similar to this one. Of course, we got just a slightly larger size for your viewing convenience. And you'll be looking through the 11 World Showcase countries, completing your map. And when you do, we have one of 3 coloring books. This is a brand new redemption prize. We haven't offered one like this before. Each one has different pictures inside, and then a sticker sheet in the middle to help decorate your creations. But I don't want to pass over this item right here.
No.
Very popular to any Disney shoppers is, of course, our themed Spirit jerseys. So this one, very special for Festival of the Arts, really on trend, tie-dye style. And let me show you the front, because again, there's going to be a familiar face on there. And there's Figment working on another creation of his. Again, make sure you stop by early. We're opening on Friday to get one of these in just the perfect size for you. A really nice other piece. We've never had a magic band before for this festival, and this is going to be a limited edition of 1,000. It's open to all guests. It's not an exclusive for any pass holders or DVC folks. And let me show you, there is Figment prominently featured on that one. So you're gonna make sure come by and pick that one up too.
That's really nice.
I think earlier we got to see this painting being made live on stage. So here's the finished product. And you know what, viewers at home, if you miss seeing it in person, fear not, because every Friday through Monday, we're going to be doing live performance art on the fountain stage, very similar to this, or featuring other guest favorite Disney characters. It's an amazing offering. You get to watch art being created, and then if it resonates with you, if you like it, you can actually buy it and take it home that day. We have no other offering like that. And as a last thing to highlight, we all know 2019, this is the year that we're going to be saying farewell to Illuminations, Reflections of Earth. So we had to pick a piece that speaks to that as our signature piece. And this is, of course, the canvas version, but we're going to have it available as a poster to pick up as a memento of your trip. So I really hope to see everybody out at Epcot International Festival of the Arts, and thanks for spending some time with us.
So there's definitely a few items of interest there. I was hoping that we would see more of the Tervis, because we don't have enough Tervis cups in the house.
I expect that we'll have at least one more after the festival is done. But I really look forward every year, and this is only the 3rd year, but to the Epcot International Festival of the Arts. It's my 2nd favorite festival now. This has really been sort of a transition week as far as the show, and just really for Walt Disney World, as they're sort of just coming out of Christmas, and all of a sudden, like tomorrow, everything is our show next week. It's going to be hard to figure out what we're going to talk about, because we could just have one show on the Festival of the Arts, but there's so much more going on, stuff in every single park. So it'll be interesting to kind of see what we choose for next week.
And speaking of shows, that is another show thanks to our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel.
They've been in business for 20 years. Check out their website, and you can just subscribe to their mailing list or ask for a no obligation quote. It's all there. And they're fantastic, almost 100 agents, so they can help you quick.
Be sure to check them out. We've heard a lot of good feedback from some of our viewers that have taken that advice.
And we just hit 500,000 subscribers.
Yeah, we just found out before we recorded the show here. So over 500,000, very exciting. So thanks so much. Thanks to everybody for supporting us over the years.
We really appreciate that. And we're looking forward to whatever next week will hold, which will probably be Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and Disney's Hollywood Studios. We'll talk about all of that next week. Maybe it'll be a longer show than usual.
Yeah, I bet. There's tons of goodness to come. Anyway, thanks again for listening. Have a great week, and we'll see you all next week.
Have a great week.